Speaking of our Sunday, Monday night live shows, we have two real interesting games this week. You can join us right here on Pub Sports Radio. Don't forget Thursday night as well. Thursday night's a beauty. Titans Packers. Connor Mack will be hosting that one. And our Friday night live stream this week's our first foray into NBA live bet stream for Bucks Sixers with razor sharp picks and Dabby Cab. Let's talk about the Sunday nighter here. 8:20 p.m. Eastern. Kansas City Chiefs 7-2, 3-1 on the road at the Los Angeles Chargers. 5-4, 2-2 at home. We're at SoFi in Inglewood. We'll start with the line history here in Chiefs Chargers, and we have these Chiefs opening up -6.5, -113. That's where they are right now. -6.5, -111. This total opened up at 49.5, and it's jumped up to 50.5. Take a look at the cash flow for the Sunday nighter. 3,240 tickets in, 52% of the tickets, 74% of cash on the Chargers, who always seem to play the Chiefs tough. Then you have 71% of tickets on the over, but just 19% of the cash, which is strange. It's gone up at point. Chiefs coming off a 27-17 win at home over the Jaguars. That really got me. I said over and over again I would only move on the 10, and I still moved on the 9.5 just because I wanted action. I guess it was a mistake. Patrick Mahomes, 26 of 35 for 331 yards, 4 touchdowns and a pick. Ran 7 times for 39 yards. Kelsey caught 6 for 81. Valdez-Scantling caught 3 for 60 and touchdown. Tony. Kadarius Toney stepping up in a big way. 4 catches for 57 yards and a touchdown. Ran twice for 33 yards. Cared very much when Juju Smith-Schuster took that hit from Cisco and is in concussion protocol. Pacheco, 16 carries for 82 yards, did lose a fumble. The defense was strong with 5 sacks, 6 quarterback hits. McCole Hardman was inactive. He had 5 touchdowns in the past 3 games. And Chris Lamons, their cornerback, is in concussion protocol. And right tackle Andrew Wiley left with a left elbow injury and did not return. It's been 2 games in a row where the Chiefs have put up enormous amount of yards and not scored many points. And, I'm still hurting off that fucking plus 9.5. So stupid. All right. Sharpie says, this is my team. Too many linemen out, but Herbert has a good record versus Mahomes against the spread, but this team is the worst 5-win team in the league. Birdie says, Chiefs for me and the under. Alex Ramirez looking at Chargers and the points. Mac Beaver says, big coaching mismatch, Reed versus Mr. Analytics. All right. Let's talk about these Chargers coming off that 22-16 loss to San Francisco without Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Herbert could do nothing on offense. We know how bad the running game is. Chargers finished with 12 first downs and 238 total yards. No, the 49ers are really good defense, but still. Herbert was 7 of 14 for 35 yards in the second half. That's the fewest pass yards in a half in his entire career. They scored a touchdown in their opening possession and then 3 field goals the rest of the way. But of course, I was on first quarter, first half. Thank God we live bet the shit out of it. But Herbert, 21 of 35 for 196 yards, touchdown pick. DeAndre Carter caught 4 for 64. Joshua Palmer next with 3 for 44. The Chargers again got nothing out of their running game. 16 carries, 51 yards. This pass rush without Bosa is very pedestrian. Khalil Mack had the only sack and quarterback hit in the game for them. They lost their defensive lineman, Ogbonia, and their tight end, Gerald Everett, to injuries in the first half. Ogbonia with a knee, Gerald Everett with a groin. They lost Christian Covington, another defensive lineman, with a pectoral in the fourth quarter. And Staley, would put the 2 safeties deep to stop Tyreek. He didn't do that the last time these teams met, and Chargers should have won that game. And now he's coming in beaten up. Is Keenan Allen going to be back? Take it away here for the Sunday nighter. It feels like we need more info on the Chargers, or do we just bet the Chiefs right away? I'd love to hear your breakdown.
I think you might get a better number too if you get good news on the Chargers receivers. Like I joked last week, and I joked a bunch of times all season. Keenan Allen just may never be back, but suddenly we maybe have some good news. I don't know. I think these offensive line injuries are more important than anything. Kansas City Chiefs, not known for their pass rush, but have a couple guys that can get after it. That's a big problem when you've gone through a bunch of different offensive linemen. Pipkins missed last week. I need a bunch of clarity on injuries here. This is a big number to be laying on the road in a divisional game, but man, the Chargers are beat up. So no interest in betting this one until we get some clarity, but there's just a laundry list of injured guys that I need to know a lot more about to to get a little more. Luckily, it's the late game. I guess we'll get some news throughout the day as well. Coaching mismatch. Someone mentioned, yeah, I'm out on Staley. I'm kind of out on how he's wasting Herbert. I guess you can blame injuries for that as well. But man, the Chargers, like someone said, I don't know if they're the worst 5-win team ever, but they're clearly worse than their record shows right now. I don't think this is a team that has a path to the playoffs currently. They'd have to win, some games like this. They'd have to luck their way into some games they aren't supposed to win. So, yeah, looking at, just like Chiefs Eagles money line parlay. What's that? Probably minus 130. That's not a bad look. Take some good teams to have some bounce backs. I suppose the Chiefs aren't really a bounce back. They're playing well, but no interest laying it at this number with so many injuries still laying out there.
That's an interesting money line parlay, Chiefs Eagles. Yeah, we got to get more information on this one. Just comment on Skydragon, Dennis Garcia's comment, and then we'll move on to the Monday Nighter. He says, I know all the Chargers' problems, but just like last week, if you're going to give me a TD with Herbert, I'm going to take it. Even better, Kansas City isn't coming off a bye like San Francisco, and the Chargers are at home. You agree with that take?
Yeah, I took the Niners second half in that one too, though. That was I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure they were the more deserving team in that game. That was a squirrely second half, to say the least. So, yeah, it's a divisional game. It's a bunch of points. If you get a bunch of good news on the Chargers, it would have to be some good news on the offensive line, not just the wide receivers. There's a case to be taking the points. It's just such a shitty home field advantage, too. It's barely home field, man. It's going to be a sea of red. They have no fans. They have the worst fans, guys. It's rough, so Chargers and the points feels like a Grin and Barrett kind of bet, but not until you get more news.
They have a big fan here in our chat, though. Our man Sharpie has Charger bolts tattooed on the sides of his head. So we have one real fan. They have one real fan. Daniel Hernandez says Chargers with the spread. Alex Ramirez says Chargers. Says take it, Jimmy. And Trans Canada says he's not even going to ask, but he knows the answer, and that's he wants us to talk about his Winnipeg Jets, which we're not going to do.